explaining. So println and print method we have seen already. So the println, it just prints the value and cursor will move to next line. And print method just prints the value and it will stay in the same line. Cursor will stay in the same line. So you can practice all this and experiment that. They will ask main question in this area is, can you explain about system.out.println each line? So you have to tell system is a built-in class in Java, which is available in java.lang package. Dot is an operator which is used to access the field or method of that class. Now out, in, here are the variables in the system class already predefined. So system.out is used to output any value. System.in is used to take the data from keyboard. You want to give an input to your program, you will write system.in. System.error is you want to throw an error, you will use system.err. So there is a lot of methods in the system class. So if you use system class methods, for example, I want to know the property of Java home property value. You want to get that property value. You can just write system.get env. So environment variables, you can get all the environment variable. Otherwise, you can get, so this will get env method will give you all the environment variables, but this will give you particular one, which one you want. So I want Java home path. So Java home is my environment variable, right? That's what we set. But this will return a value. Getter method will return a value. What data type it returns, you can see that. So it returns a string type data. So you can put string. So Java value, Java path, otherwise Java value. So you can print now. So this output you can print. So Java path is just a variable name you call. The variable name is this one. So this is how you can get the any environment variable value. This is the global, widely used in your automation codes or general developer code also. Because to get the values, you can get that. You can see this. Okay, this is wrong, right? Java home we are given, not Java environment. So that's what if you give a wrong variable name, you won't get. See, this is the path. This is the path we set in the environment variables. So that value you are getting with any environment variable value you can get with a system.getEnv. So for example, your current project directory path you want. So you can get string current directory path, current project directory path. Project directory path if you want to know. So you just give system.get property. So you just give, this is the system.get property and just give user.dir. So it will give you the current working directory. See now this project is where, which directory it created, and you will get complete and print that. So the print is current project working directory path. So just give this variable. So these are some of the very important methods. You can use them in the regular. See this is the path. See Eclipse workspace, the workspace inside your project name. So that's your current project path. So this is the path. So you don't need to hard code. Always you will use these codes in your automation. If you want current project directory and the paths. So that's why these are all very, very important concepts. So all these are ready-made methods which are available in the system class. And these are the some of the basics. And let's go and see now. We'll understand what is a class and what is a modifiers, and let's understand them one by one. So we have so many things, but so any questions till now?
No.
Kumar, Bhavya, Chiru, are you fine with that?
Yes, sir.
So do we have the list of that methods, like the dot get method?
These things.
Yeah.
So you just put a dot, okay, system dot, automatically you'll get everything. So there are so many methods are there. See? So this is the variables, right? ERR is a variable. In is a variable. Out is a variable. Okay. Then you have see array copy, clear property, console. So it returns the unique console object. That's the one. Current time milliseconds. You want a time in milliseconds, you will get this a long return type. See, this is a return type here. So, and then you have exit method. You want to exit entire thing. So your system program execution, this exit method you can call GC. Basically, GC is a garbage collector. So system.gc means it will call the garbage collector, and it will invoke and basically it will clean up. So explicitly you are calling the GC method, but you don't need to call. Generally, I told you, right? The garbage collector will run frequently. Then you have a next get env. This get env method will give you all environment variable properties in the key value format. So let's call this. Basically, it returns a map. So map, it will return key and value format, both the string type. That's the get env method type. The what type it returns. Here get env is a string type, but this one returns a map type. So you have to write a map, but so we don't know we don't know maps, right? But
no.
So you can just see that. So this is the collections, it will come. So this is how you can so return types, how you can call, because that method is returning a value. This method is returning a value, and that I am storing in this variable. That you can print all this map. Directly you can print the map. You can see all the environment variables, it will print here. Environment map. So let's execute this. See, you can see here. This is the one and value. So key value. Key value. So you'll get a lot of things here. See, so many are there. All of your key value pair you will get. So that's the advantage. It's a very big one, this one. Very, very big one. Because all the variables it will fetch. So that's
fetch from where? Like from the program or from the...
No, from environment variables. So your
compile.
system environment variables are right. System edit system variables.
Yeah.
So this system variables are there. Right? From here it will fetch. So these are the things it will fetch. This is the key value pair. This is the key value pair, right? These are the key and the value. From here it will fetch.
No.
So that's the environment variables means. Get env means that's the one. You're getting the environment variables.
Ah.
So like that, you have so many methods in the system class. All are static methods. But I don't want confuse here more because still we don't know anything about methods, right? I don't want confuse. But so these are the very important methods. Widely you will use this one and this one. System.exit also will use, but I'll tell that later. Okay. So that's it. Any questions? Before going for the class, what is a class and class structure I want to give? So this is all in the Eclipse, how to create. I have shown you just now for you how to create a class, and is very detailed. I have given packages, how to create. So that we already discussed now. So you can, if you want detailed, you can go here, how to create a package in Eclipse. So how to select the GRE, all this I have given, how to create a project name. So I have given very clearly screen by screen. So that's the one thing. Yeah. So let's go now. We need to understand what is a class. What is a class in Java? So a class is a template or blueprint. A class is a template or blueprint. So which is used to create objects, So a class is a template or a blueprint. So for the objects, so before you create object, first you should have a class. So in your project. So first you need to declare the class. How to declare the class? Using class keyword. See that? Using this class keyword, you can declare your class. This is the class name. Class keyword after the class name will be there. So every class has a file, that is a .java file. See, now you can see here. So this is the .java. A class name and file name is same, but file name is having a .java extension. So even with .java, so once you compile your code, you will get a .class file will generate. That's a bytecode file. So that is a bytecode file. So a class has a file. So the file extension is .java. How to create a class? Using class keyword. So the class naming conventions, can you observe here? Every word first letter in cap letter. Remaining letters you have to write a lowercase. That's the naming conventions. If a class has more than one word or one word, remember, you are creating or already created. See, the system is a class, right? See, S is capital. String is a class. That's why S is a capital. First letter is a capital. So this is the string is a class. That's why S is a capital. So if you remember this syntaxes, and it's very, very easy, so that you won't make any mistakes. See, if I write a lowercase, this one, it will throw error. See that? It is throwing error here. Because this, by default, naming conventions you must follow. Even system also, if you write a lowercase, it will throw error. See that? It is throwing error there. This is a compile time error. System cannot be resolved. So you have to write a capital letter. That's the class naming conventions. Even whatever I have written, I followed the naming conventions. So what are the naming conventions? So the class naming conventions are every class, so it has a first letter capital letter. See that? Every letter. So if a class name contains one word, first letter should be in uppercase, remaining letters are in lowercase. You should remember these steps, these rules. See that? Sample S capital. And then followed by a curly bracket, a pair of brackets. Start with a curly bracket, end with a curly bracket. That's a class structure. So class analogy, so class template is, so you can give a access modifier, then class keyword, then class name, then curly bracket start immediately. Then class inside you can write methods, variables, constructors, blocks, anything. These are the members of a class. That's the first rule of a class. Second rule is, if a class name contains more than one word, like this, more than one word, right? In this more than one word, each word first letter should be in capital. That's what I am mentioning here. No space between the words. So like this, you have to give every word first letter in capital letter. And then curly bracket, it will start. So class name is followed by start curly bracket and end curly braces. So you should follow the naming convention. See that? So they are writing a lowercase. This is a bad practice. And they followed A capital. So that's the best practices, good practices. So mandatory to follow the rules so that you can recognize easily with other entities. Okay, what is a class? What is a variable? What is a method? How you can differentiate by naming conventions. So file name should be same as a class name. So file name should be same as a class name, like a single class in a file account checker.java. See, account creator.java. That's the file name. So the account creator is the class and .java is the file name. Account verifier is the class name. Account verifier.java is the file name. So that's the naming conventions of a class. So what is a class? A class is a template or blueprint, and a class is used to create objects. Class is used to create objects. So class is basically, you just think of your house, any house, right? It's just a prototype. So it contains a lot of details, right? It contains a lot of details about a house as like a floors, doors, and rooms, windows. So these are all the members of that house. So that members is the, like you can create with the variables and methods. So class contains many members like variables, methods, constructors, blocks. So what you can place inside the class? A class can have variables. That variables are used to store the data, to declare the data. Methods, so what it has to do, the action related logic you can build with the methods. Constructors, you can construct the values for these variables with the constructors. And blocks, there are some static blocks are there. You can create a blocks also under the class. So basically class is a logical entity. The class syntax is this one. This is the template of a class. Access modifier, class, keyword, and class name. So class name is a noun. Remember always, you have to give a noun. So class name and curly bracket. Fields are variables you can declare. Methods you can declare. Constructors you can declare. Blocks you can declare inside the class only. Once this end curly bracket over, you should not write anything. So class inside only, these are the members you can write. So to create a class, you can use a class keyword and class name. That just now I have shown you. So you can mention fields, methods, constructors, blocks. Fields are used to store the data. Methods are used to perform operations on this data. So that's the what members are there inside the class, and so how we will declare this data, where you will store using the variables or fields. So methods, why you will use to create the logic. So that logic you can build inside the method body. So, and here you can see a bicycle. So private integer, this is the variable. So the value is 5. So this the breaking is a method. So inside this class, you have one variable and you have one method. So like that, you can write a number of methods and variables inside the class. That's just an example. Gear is a variable or field and breaking is a method. So the method you will represent always method name followed by a parenthesis. See, this method name you will write in lowercase if one word is there. That's another difference between class and a method. And you can create a, see, the access modifier is either public or default. So public class sample, and you can write all these members inside the class. And default class and class test. You can write all these variables inside this class. See here, there is no modifier here. Here you have a public modifier, but here you don't have anything. That's called default. Default means no modifier. And so class keyword, it just tells that it is a Java class. That's the class keyword denotes. So naming conventions I already mentioned. So any doubts on the class? What is mean by a class? Again, I'm recapping one more time. Class is a template or blueprint, or like it's like a prototype. So if class is there, then only you can create object. So that means class is the primary prototype. It's a template. It's a design, a model. You can say model. Based on that, you can create objects. A class is a logical entity. So class can have multiple members like variables or fields, methods, constructors, blocks will be there inside the class. The class structure is, class template is access modifier, class keyword, class name, curly bracket start, and curly bracket end. In this curly bracket inside, you can write, you can declare variables, methods, constructors, blocks. That's a class structure. The naming conventions of a class is, so the class name should be a noun. A class starts with a capital letter. The first letter of the word should be in capital, remaining letters are in lowercase. And class, more than one word is there. Every word first letter in capital letter and remaining all letters are in lowercase in the class name. That's the naming conventions. Class name and file name should be same. The file has a .java extension. So these are the some of the very important point about the class we should know. And any questions before going for the modifiers? Umar and Bhavya, so are you okay with this or any questions here?
No.
No, Ramesh. No questions.
Okay. So let's have modifiers. So what is mean by a modifier? So you remember here. So you see just this is called a modifier. And this is another modifier, right? Same. And this is another modifier. So when you are creating a class, you have seen here new class, right? When you're creating a class, you see the modifiers. So modifiers are reserved keywords. Modifiers are reserved keywords. And that means already Java given those keywords. We are not generating. Reserved keywords. Those keywords, when you apply for the different entities, the meaning will change. So for a class, if you apply, the meaning will change for the class. That's the modifiers means. There are two types of modifiers. So modifiers are keywords that are added to change meaning of a entity definition. There are two types of modifiers: non-access modifiers, access modifiers. So non-access modifiers, so they won't control the access level. So these are the non-access modifiers, this abstract to final static to. These are not going to control the access. So who will control the access is by these access modifiers. So non-access modifier keywords are final, static, abstract, volatile, transient. So these are the non-access modifier keywords. So access modifier keywords means basically the accessibility scope, the visibility of a class, interface, variable, method, constructor, all these entities scope, visibility scope is decided by access modifiers. So what is access modifiers? Access modifiers are used to set the accessibility scope of a class, interface, variable, method, constructor. So where to use, where not to use is decided by these access modifier keywords. What are the access modifier keywords? We have public, package or default, private, protected. There are 4 types of access modifiers are there. So public means you can access anywhere. So public means you can access everywhere. The visibility of your class, method, variable and constructor is anywhere you can access them in the entire project or even outside project also. That is what public means. Next, default. So default is, so how can you identify the default? So public means you have a public keyword. You will apply public keyword. With the public keyword, you will declare. So we can access them from anywhere, right? Like this, this is the what, you take a Facebook access. If you make a public, so your status will be visible for all the people. So in your friends list or out of friends list also. So whoever is on of Facebook, they can see your status. That's what the public. So that's where they applied a public keyword on the Facebook status. So these are the modifiers they applied here. That's the public access modifier means. So when methods, variables, classes, and constructors are declared public, then we can access them from anywhere. So the public access modifier has no scope restriction. It has a wider scope. That's what the public. So you can see you can make a class as a public. You can make a variable as a public. You can make method as a public, so that I can access them even in another class or another package class or another project also. So that's what the public means. Public has a wider scope. That's a public. Okay. So default access modifier means, so if you don't explicitly specify any access modifier, so any access modifier means no modifier at all, just a blank. That is called default access modifier. So you can apply default access modifier on the classes, methods, variables, and constructors. By default, the default access modifier has the scope only within this package. Only this is the package, right? In this package only you can access, not outside package. For example, if I create one more package, so I'll create one more package. So I'm making this as a default. My class I'm making as a default. So then method you take. So this default class, see, no modifier at all. It's a blank class keyword before blank. So that is the default. You can make even variable also default. So this is the default. The modifier is not there. Even you can make method also default. So this is the default.
Method should be declared outside the main method, isn't it?
Yes, because that is also one method. Every
Okay.
method is a one unique queue, right? That's why you have to declare unique queue. Every method outside you have to declare.
Okay.
So every method should be outside only. So this is the one method and this is the one. Every method structure is different. This method purpose is different. This method purpose is different. You have to be uniquely, you have to define them. So because you are defining here inside the body, you are defining that method. So then if you want to execute that, you have to call under main method.
Yeah.
Because main
So
method only
declare-
will execute your code, right? That's why.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
So now see, I cannot use this class in this basic programs package. Why? The scope of this class is only for this variable type programs package only. So same one more class if you create, for example, another class if you create in the same package, I can use that. See, I can use this default in this test class because test and default in the same package only. So that's the default scope means. Default means it is applicable in the same package in any class you can call, but not outside the package. Is this clear?
Means if you use import other packages like
No, you
dot,
cannot access. You cannot access.
you can. Okay.
You cannot access.
Suppose if you want to input a values through scanner and use your scanner method, import scanner method, and you can't use default in that package, isn't it?
Default, if you declare them as a, now I declared a class as a default, variable as a default, method as a default. These variable members, default class cannot be accessible outside. In the same class you can access. Now see, I can access the default demo class right here.
Yeah.
dd.is. I can access. Okay.
Yeah, because they created
It's in
public
the
class.
same package. Both are in the same package.
Okay. Okay.
If it is outside package, see if it is outside, so another package, see it is not accessible. Not this one, right? Display method. See now I can access in the same package, right? I can access in the same package. So no issue here. Okay, anyway, it will go that error. But here, see, I cannot access here. See, if I try to access here, I'm trying to call default demo. So D obj equal to new default demo. See, it is saying clearly not visible. Default demo cannot be resolved to a type. But this problem you didn't get here, right? You didn't get here.
No.
So here it is, you are able to access clearly.
Yep.
So I think I have to refresh. So this error will go, but this is not an issue and it will work. But there it will throw error. See, you got the error message, right? This is solved now. Same package you can access default access modifiers, but outside package, see here it is throwing error. It's not able to recognize that. Default is only accessible within that package. In any class you can access, but not outside the package. Clear?
Sure. Yeah.
Like a friends. So your friends on the Facebook only can access your status, not others. That's a default means. Next, private access modifier is you can declare when variables, constructor, methods only can declare private, no class. Class cannot be declared as a private. See, when you click on this, create a class, see it is private and protected are disabled for the class. That means there is no private class, no protected class. Class can be only public or default. So private access modifier, if you make a variable constructor method private, you can access them in the same class only, not outside the class. Class cannot be declared as a private. And once you declare private means you remember it's completely privacy. Nobody can see. Only that class can use, but not outside the class. So that's a private. So only me. I can see my status, only me, nobody else. That's a private. See, this is the private. If you declare, class cannot be a private. Only members, your members can be a private. And then last one, protected. So protected means, again, protected also cannot be applied for the class. And methods, constructors, data members can be declared as a protected. You can access in the same package any class, and outside a package also you can access. But when you apply inheritance in the subclasses, you can access these protected variables and methods. So that's a difference between default and protected. So you can declare with a protected keyword your variables and methods and constructors, but you can access when you apply inheritance. This is called inheritance. So inheritance means you have to use extends. One class extends another class, that is called inheritance. When you are apply inheritance, then in another package you can access these methods, protected variables and protected methods. If you don't apply inheritance, you can access in the same package only, but not outside the package. So only inherited classes can access protected variables and methods. That's the protected. Clear? Friends are friends. That's a protected. So a protected is either same package or the subclasses. So which are applied inheritance. That's a protected. So this is all about, you can see this table. You can see this table very clearly. So private is within the class only. No outside other package, no other class, no outside a package. Default is within the class, within the package you can access, but not in the subclasses, not in the outside package. Protected means within the class you can access, within the package you can apply, access, subclasses you can access, but not outside the package. So public is everywhere. Public is everywhere. So that's the chart. You can see, go through them. And if you want detail, I have given some more examples. Please go through this. And so we can have tomorrow this class, and we can discuss more.